using their fast starts compared to some of the more long-distance skaters. But then again, the 500 meter on this track, where you can step all the way, it becomes a long sprint in the end as well sometimes.
So let's have a look who's in this fastest cadet, Jace Mendoza from this morning, together with Dennis Neswat, local talent, Nicolo Caniello and Manuel Lidivre and Matteo Guerin. These are the 5 skaters in the first of the heats.
Yeah, the American here, Jace Mendoza, with a really good start and a big gap down to the next skaters. Again, that fast start that we talked about, 13.3 on the first 100 meter opener.
Quite fast.
Yeah. I always remember this 500 meter race here to be incredibly fast when you're as a long distance skater like I was, being put in the heat with some of these sprinters. But also here the boys coming in a couple of seconds behind, but a nice career. I had the Olympics in 2018 and 2022, and then I stopped professional and competitive racing here about a year ago. So then for this Winter Olympic Games this winter, I had the pleasure of doing commentary there on TV in Denmark. I actually did it before as well in Sochi in 2014, but still that was like more than a decade in between the two times I've tried to do that. And then now back here with the first time for the Arena Geisingen International. So this is also a debut for me.
Yes, and a new experience. What's the difference between commentating here in Geisingen and commentating Olympic Games?
Yeah, it sounds weird to say this, but I always get amazed when I come up here and I see the team behind the organization of Arena Geisingen International. The amounts of people you have up here with monitors, with machines, with cables, with computers everywhere, it really is quite amazing to see all the setup that is behind to give you this, or give the skaters and the coaches and the parents and everyone participating and the ones for you at home watching, giving this great big setup for this for this event, which I think it really deserves, but also a lot of good work that's behind all this. So really professional setup, and nice to be sitting here. We have a couple of monitors going with some names, and you're very good at seeing the next heat and seeing the next skater. Yes, I'm a little bit getting over-focused just on the races, I think, because they're exciting. Doing the qualification, like you can be more lucky or unlucky sometimes with the heat, but with this format, really, it is like a very fair, good format, I think. Of course, you have the winner coming through from each heat, and you see sometimes if you have some of the really fast skaters, they'll not go all the way to the line, but for everybody else it really is that mindset of knowing you have to go like a long time trial all the way to the line to get the best possible ranking before the repêchage, as you say, where every heat there the winner will go through from those heats. But you need to put yourself in the best possible time position, because when you're being seeded in for the repêchage, you will most likely be seeded in a heat in a better position if you have a better time. So I think it's a really fair way of doing it, especially on this 500 meter. If you're unlucky, you have a very fast guy, then the repêchage is where you get your revenge if you skate a fast 500 meter now. That's also why we see everyone here all the way to the line, not only...
It's Gross-Gerau. So to highlight competitions in Germany, so important to improve the sport, to have these high-level competitions.
Yeah, there's a lot of good spring races now, and I think also the level of the spring races in general, all around. You say Arena Geisingen and Gross-Gerau, it's the ones that I've been going to a lot of years, and a lot of people go to. Also, a lot of the Danish skaters I coach, but also all the other spring races that are around Europe right now. Gijon, Lagos,
we saw Lagos with incredible times.
Yeah, it really is a high level, a lot of good races, and I think it's really good for the skaters to have a lot of good races they can go to early in the season.
So, and we see Damon Petri doing a really good job in his 500 meter heat. Let's see the time of Damon Petri. It's a 45.111. Jakob Storz, Philipp Christian Bonecorsa, Kasper van Wensemar, Matej Kalmar and Gabriel Garcia Armas, and this is a fall start. This is a fall start for Jakob Storz, the local skater here, having a bit of a struggle through his first fast corner in the 200 meter fly lap. And they're waiting Will he get the yellow card? I think so.
Yeah, Jakob Storz with a yellow card.
No.
Oh no, it is triggered by another skater maybe. We will see.
It will be the skater on position 3, waiting for the official decision. This is 1-2-0, and so this is Philip Christian Bonacorso from Speed Skating Casano, and off they are. In front we have Simone Campagna, if I'm right, second spot for Jakob Storz. Yes, Campagna in front, and followed by Jakob Storz now, trying to pass on the inside. Not yet. Build up a big speed on the inside. Now bell for the last lap. What will happen in these last two corners? It is Campagna in front. Now again attack on the inside. Okay, it's 46-5 for Polisportivo Belusco, and another skater from Belusco, Filippo Galliani, Oscar Clarkson, and David Sanchez Landieta. Off they are. And thanks to Philip, he will join later. Again, now he has to do coaching duties. And last lap for this heat with Deceuninck and Sciolito in front. Sciolito. Big hawk. And was it Deceuninck? The time to qualify directly for the fourth final is held by Dennis Nesvat from Arena Geisingen Inline Sport. It's 47.004. Blossier is leading with a 13.376 split for the first half lap. Followed by Petri from Italy, but there's a big gap between Blossier and Petri. And he did it alone. Maël Blossier left, tiny Irish.
Yeah, you see it very much in this age group as well, that some of these skaters just, I think for parents out there who have kids, or if you just see through these categories, at one point all of a sudden, then boom, then some of them just starts growing. For sure, you see a bigger advantage with some of the skaters that grow a lot in these years, but also over the years it will even out, and it's not necessarily bad also for the young ones to learn to skate well, even also before they're really growing up a bit taller and a bit stronger as well. Here the Portuguese skater, I think, also challenging for the first position, but now back in second.
Yeah, and we are working hard with Ayush to teach him a good technique, and hopefully he will grow taller in the next year. All fingers crossed.
The young skaters, really at that time, it's a lot easier, I would say, also to try different things athletically and skating technique wise and coordination wise, and just skate a lot, do different things, race also. Don't get too specialized too early as well. Also, some of these younger skaters, we see them on the short races or long races, they kind of do a little bit of everything.
So we have two skaters in front, Barbosa and Garcia. Made a little gap. One's Colombian, one's Spain. And we have a skater from Jamaica, am I right?
Yeah.
But we see the club is Men's Sana Siena.
Yeah, I almost didn't dare to say it, but yeah, like you said, many countries represented, and to do some journalist digging this weekend. I can't help you with that, sorry.
We have Felix Haar from Cologne on second spot in this heat number 10 of the Cadet Boys category.
Yeah, I think you know a lot of the German skaters here as well. You go through the categories.
He's passing on the inside.
Oh, there's a lot of passing here. 2 wide or 3 wide on this straight.
Yes, if you open the inner line, there is always danger of passing on this track.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's so hard to pass on the outside.
Yeah, it really is. It is one of those tracks where if you have to pass around on the outside, especially on a fast distance like the 500 meter, you really have to be a lot faster to be able to do that. So that's also why we see by far most of the passes here on the inside.
Skater on the second spot.
Yeah.
This is Romeo Chiumiento, and we have to make sure if this is the brother of Sofia Paola Chiumiento.
Yeah.
Together with Jean Paquet, with Aaron Eldeli, Gabriel Martin, Marco Gitero, and Connor Belakovic. 6 skaters on the track. And who's leading?
I think maybe I know who I can ask. I think I have a contact I can ask.
Okay.
Then I'll get back to you. Yeah.
You know this part of the game. If you have brothers or sisters in the same sport, you're always a bit of compared, maybe.
Yeah.
But there's so many brothers and sisters in this sport. It's nice to see. We have siblings. Last year during the World Championships, we have 2 siblings in one race. This was really great.
Which one was that? Yeah, it's a pro and a con to be siblings in the sport. Also, Philip and I sometimes you had to be just Philip and not be Stephen's little brother or something. Do his own thing, and then yeah.
Oh, there were a bit of fighting for the positions in the first corner.
Yep. Yeah, that first corner sometimes has a bit of a squeeze when you have people right next to each other. Of course, the advantage on the inside a bit coming into that corner, but still, you don't want to break your own speed by having too much contact or clash for fighting for that position in front. Like we said, really the time here matters a lot. So this is also something you see sometimes with the experience of people. If they actually go a little bit out of that, keep building the speed, then to build the speed for a pass, or if they have some of that clash and lose a bit of speed. It sometimes happens.
And it's again India with Arshana Morty.
Also a lot of good skaters
nation.
here. Yeah, it's so nice to see more and more Indian skaters.